Hi there, welcome back to Newbie Needles Basic Embroidery Stitching. Now today we're going to squeeze in 2 stitches because I don't think it'll take very long to show you. They're very basic stitches that don't take long to learn, and once you've mastered them you'll use them all the time. They're great stitches for the middles of flowers or just to make nice little decorations going around things. And stem stitch is one of them. Stem stitch you'll use all the time if your favourite embroidery stitches involve flowers in any form, because we use that all the time. And the second stitch we're going to do is a French knot. I use French knots in the middles of my flowers all the time. They're brilliant. I love them and I find them very relaxing. So let's get started. Join me on the other side of the camera. Okay, so here we go. Let's get started. So yeah, you can see I've already done one stem. You can see how it's formed. Looks a bit like a stem. And you can curl it, bend it. Right, so we start with one stitch. So I'm going to start in the middle there. Now this one is going to be straight because we're just aiming for that flower at the top. So we start off by doing one stitch. So that came from underneath and went down. So now what we're going to do is come up halfway. Now, let me see, look, I've come up halfway. All the way through and then down. And you're going to come up slightly out, but almost half a stitch length. There we go. And then up. Keep the cotton on this side, and when your needle goes in, the distance is about half a stitch length up. You go down, and then you come up in the middle of the length of the stitch you did previous. Now, can you see that? And then you just pull all the way through, and we're going to go again. So up by half a length. When you bring the needle out, you're half a length up on the previous stitch and the rest overlaps. Now let me show you. You see how that is coming up nice and thick, so that it looks a lot more substantial than if you were just doing back stitch or a running stitch. There we go. So half a stitch length up, come up again, halfway up the previous stitch, and just pull your cotton into place. Keeping the cotton on this side, and you can see what you're doing. There we go. And we're going to go all the way up to the flower, doing exactly the same. Half a stitch length and up, halfway up the previous stitch. There we go. Now, it's not going to be a dead straight line because we are aiming for the top flower, but I think it'd be best if I aimed for this line, so it just looks a little bit more natural. So we'll keep going. Occasionally you do have to twirl your cotton. Let me show you. Next time it gets a bit twisted, I will show you a good trick to do. So a few more stitches until we make our way all the way. Halfway up. And again, half a stitch length, halfway up the stitch before, Now, I am slightly veering off here, but you can control it so that you end up where you need to be. Because as we said, we didn't want a dead straight line. And at least with stem stitch, you can control it a little bit. You can see how I'm turning now to come in between the petals of the flower. There we go. Ooh, it looks like we're just going to have enough cotton to finish this stem. That's always good. And then when you get so close, you just pop it into that space. And down it comes. And then we can finish off at the back. Securing loop through, give it a little tug. Let's do another one, just so that when we cut it, it's not going to come out again. There we go. Let's take that extra bit off and get rid of it. So we've now got 2 stems. I'll do the other one later. Let me show you a French knot. Right, so I've ready and threaded it up, and I've done some as an example to show you. Now, they're quite small. Let's see if I can get it near the camera. There we go. They're just like little rings or little blobs, but they're very effective. So I've done the flowers slightly differently on this one so that you can see them in a side profile. So you've just got 3 petals coming down. This is the middle, but because it's a sideways view of the flower, they're on the top. Okay, so we're going to try and do the same here. So again, we're going to start underneath work, bringing your needle up where you would like the French knot to sit. About there, I think. So pull it all the way up. Now, you take your cotton to this side, basically because I am right-handed, and I'm going to take my needle and do 1, 2, and 3. So I've got 3 wraps. Then I'm going to take the point of the needle back down, not in the same hole, but almost into the material. Now, with this finger, just keep that tension, not too tight, just enough. You can see it's not unraveling. And then push the needle down, still holding on to the tension. Just do it gently. You can see how it comes through. And then a little fastening tug, and it'll sit there. Beautiful. I love French knots. Look at that. Right, let's do 3 on top of this flower. So I'm going to put another one in the middle. So you bring it all the way up, cotton on one side, then with your needle, wrap 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Hold on to the cotton. Take the end of the needle almost in the same hole, but not quite. Hold on to that tension. Push the needle through all the way. There we go. Got 2 now. And a 3rd. Get it in the right place. There we are. I think that will do. Pull it all the way up. Hold on to the cotton. Wrap it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Hold the tension. Take the end of the needle almost in the same hole. Now you can see how it's unwrapped a little bit, but if I gently pull it back into place, not too tight that you cannot push that needle through, it still has to have a little bit of room. And there we go. And we have 3 French knots, just like the other one. Let's do the others. So I'm going to take it down to the bottom and do the middle one first this time. Wrap it, 1, 2 and 3. Hold on to the tension and take the point of the needle almost in the same hole but not quite. Push it all the way down and we'll do 2 more. Here's the second one. Hold on to the cotton, wrap it round and almost down the same hole. Hold on to the tension and push it through. Last one. Up it comes. Holding on to that cotton. Wrapping 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Point of the needle almost down the same when it came up. Hold on to the tension. And down it goes. There we go. Lovely. And that is as easy as a French knot gets. French knots are brilliant. I use them on jackets. I've even used French knots to give the impression of lots and lots and lots of tiny little flowers in a larger picture. So you've got 2 more stitches to experiment with. Please have fun. And I'll be so pleased if you'd like to post your pictures of what you've been up to on the Newbie Needles Facebook page. See you on the other side of the camera. So there you have it. We're coming along nicely now. We've got lots of stitches in our repertoire and none of them are difficult. They're just very effective basic embroidery stitches. So it just remains for me to say, if you would like, share and subscribe to the Newbie Needles channel, that would be amazing. And you'd never miss an episode. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.